This video is brought to you by Wix. Today I'll be building my ultimate portfolio website using their platform. Check them out with my link in the description. I decided it's time for a change. My current website just isn't cutting it. As you probably know, I'm a huge proponent of building your online presence as a data scientist. Having a strong portfolio and a portfolio website can help you to land the job that you wanted, grow your community, and meet incredible new people. As much as I preach this, I realize that my own personal website is severely lacking. In this video, I talk about why a personal website is so important for a data scientist or a content creator, and how you can build a beautiful one using Wix. So it'll be a tutorial style video, so you'll walk with me on how I build my website. I had a chat with Noah Kagan, another prominent YouTuber and entrepreneur, a few weeks ago. Definitely check out his channel, it's linked below. And we discussed how I could take my channel and my content to the next level. Here's what he had to say.
It's like going to a restaurant and they're like, here's every dish I have. And it's like, well, what's your best one? You're like, that. So what I would recommend is on your descriptions and in your about page, put them to one site. Cut all your stuff down, have everything go to Kenneth J. Lee, and on Kenneth J. Lee, grab their email address. That is the number one thing that you are making a mistake on in your business, is that you have no way to communicate with your audience when you have a course, when you have a project. Guess what? Now you have to make a video to tell them about your project instead of an email that you could actually email them instantly. But I would not rely on YouTube being the way that you hopefully can talk to your audience, because they control that. You don't. So I would cut a lot of these other links. Like, honestly, do you care if they follow you on Medium? No. Let me just tell you, you don't. You don't. You care if they follow you on GitHub? I'll put a maybe there.
Essentially, having one place where everyone can go for my content helps eliminate any confusion around my message. I make loads of content outside of YouTube, and shouldn't I have a place to aggregate everything? I'm also missing a few key touch points with my community. Not having a mailing list or a newsletter to keep people updated with my content and other awesome stuff that I find online is really a huge oversight on my part. This is really important to me as a content creator and someone trying to grow my online presence, but it's equally valuable to a data scientist or people looking to break into the field. When I interview a new candidate, the first thing I look for is their online presence. I'll tell you right now, most candidates don't have a personal website. Making one is the first way that you can differentiate yourself from the pack. After my call with Noah, I decided a big initiative of mine this year was to completely overhaul my own personal website and to build this newsletter that I was speaking of. I did all my research into what platform I should use, and independently, I decided on Wix. It was straightforward to use and had all the features that I was looking for. Fortuitously, Wix reached out about a potential video sponsorship a few days after I made that decision to use them. It must have been fate, or as data scientists say, some happy randomness. Now, the link to Wix is linked in the description, as I mentioned before, and there's also a link to sign up to my newsletter, Data Dribble, if you're interested. Okay, so what are some of the important elements of a website, and what am I going to be putting into my own personal website? So first, I need a place to showcase my work. That's going to be my landing page. I'm going to have all of my content, all my projects, everything there. Next, I need a place where others can learn about me. That's my about page. I'll have a little bit of my background, some of the things I'm involved in. Third, I'm going to have a place where people can sign up for my mailing list and a little bit more about what that data dribble concept is. After that, I'll have a place for sponsors or people interested in connecting with me. That could be for speaking engagements, that could be for potential brand deals, that could also be for people to ask me questions related to data science if they haven't asked on my channel already. For data scientists building a portfolio, the first 2 pages are going to be the most important, and often you just want to make a one-page website where people can scroll down and learn everything about you. In theory, you want to limit clicks for people going through your stuff, just for ease of use on their part. Still, I don't mind clicking around a really beautiful website, so if you're gonna put the time in and build out something fairly robust like this, I think it's okay to have multiple pages. Now let's jump in and build this thing. Okay, let's go on to Wix.com, and after you log in, you'll come to this page. You're gonna wanna click Create New Site, and what I like about Wix is they kind of hold your hand a little bit to get started, and then everything is free form. You can iterate the website however you want after that. So a lot of people might be interested in a portfolio or CV style website. Let's just look at some of the templates they have. So we have quite a bit of different ones. There's kind of a more artistic one. There's a very professional one. There's a very basic one. This could be great for your data science portfolio website. There's UI, UX designer, whatever it might be. I'm personally going to use one of the blog templates. I think I want to be sharing a lot more content than probably the traditional person. So a blog for me is going to make just a little bit more sense. So you can let the Wix ADI create a website for you. So it asks you a couple questions and then it generates something based on your interests. I personally liked going from a template. It lets me have a little bit more creative control here. So there are a ton of templates again, and I like starting from somewhere. So I find one that resonates well with me, and then I can go on and make any addition to it that I want, really. But just like in data science, you usually want to start with a framework. You want to start with something to work around with. I think it's the same thing when designing a website. It really helps to have something there that you're working off of rather than starting completely from scratch and staring at a blank page for a while. So I chose this theme. It's kind of a blog artistic podcast type of theme. And, while my mom calls what I do art, I don't know if anyone else describes it in the same way. So I might have to make a couple additions to that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust the menu so that it's the same format that is on my finished website. So we can just click here and we can see that we can adjust this. We can resize this however we want. I'm going to resize this all the way across. I'm going to delete the text here, and then I'm going to move the image to the middle like I have it on my finished website. So just clicking back through, you can see my logo is up there and we have all of these moved across. So if I want to adjust the menu, I can either click here and manage menu, or I can go to pages, main pages, and adjust them here. I'm going to do them here just because it's a little bit easier for me. Right now, I can just do content. That's going to change that blog position to content. The next thing we have is podcast. So that's right. Following that, we have 66 days of data. Then we have about / contact. And then there's a couple other ones that we're going to want to add in. So we're going to want to add in partnerships and also newsletter. So we can just rearrange those to how I have that over here. And we can see that we have all of these pages set up. So when I add the new ones, let's say I just added partnerships, for example. We can click on this and navigate to it, and we can see that it's blank. So we can freeform create something, but we have the infrastructure there to build off of. We have all of the menus set up, which was really straightforward, super intuitive, and I enjoyed using it quite a bit. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over and make a blog post. So we can navigate, and then we go to content. So that's how we go between the different pages in the editor. And we'll see that there's already pre-populated these various different blog content style things. So if we look at the actual website, we see if we scroll down, we can see more. Just in the editor, that's not a function that we see. So we can click on all of these and we can go to manage posts. So if I was creating a portfolio, if I was adding some of my YouTube videos, I would create a new post and I'd potentially put in a project here. So my data science project, and then I can put in pictures, whatever it is. I can put in links. I can even put in code here, which is really cool. So my code, I'm sorry. There we go. And then we just go ahead and publish it. And then we go back to the editor and we can see that it will populate here now, which is really cool. So I would recommend going through and putting all of your data science projects in a blog style format like this, where you can see the teaser, you can perhaps see a GIF, whatever it might be. As you can see in the actual website, these videos play, so you can get a little bit of a teaser for the projects. You could, if you wanted to, just have all of your content on this one page. So if you wanted to add like an about me section, we can put in a strip up here, like a welcome strip, and say, we can just move this above here. And then we move this one down. There we go. And we could have everything we wanted to say about us and put our picture here, whatever it might be. We're not going to do that. We're just going to delete that and replace it up. But you could do that if you wanted to have that single page portfolio application. All right, now real quickly, we're just going to reorganize these so they're in the proper order. So we're going to go to main pages. Okay, so they're in the correct order there. We want to manage them here. And so we do content about us is at the end. I believe that is the right order. And as you can see, now they are correctly ordered here. The next thing I want to explore is the podcast. So right here, we just go to navigate to podcast, and we can see that this template that I used already has a podcast that exists. In order to change this, we can just click here, settings, and then I connect my own RSS feed. Okay, so I go to Buzzsprout. I go to my directories here. Internet is not happy with me, huh? Okay, then when I go to RSS feed, I just copy this and I paste this in right here, and then I connect it. And so just like that, we have all of my podcasts right there and connected. Okay, so now let's jump over to the 66 days of data page. And essentially what I want to do here is I want to embed my video from the 66 days of data. So let's add in just a little, maybe a nice little strip here where I can embed a video. Let's just use this one. And I don't think I need a picture here. The video is really going to be the main focus here, so we can change the background. And let's just make it a solid color. Let's make it like a nice gray. And then let's also do the same gray over here. So we just change the column background color. And then that same gray, I believe, is going to be saved down here once we use it, which is a really nice feature. Now we can just go here and we can add in a video or music. We're going to do that directly from YouTube, and we can position it so it fits in the middle of the screen. And the nice thing here is when we resize also, it just adjusts to the screen, right? It stays in the middle. That's a feature I really like. Now we want to make it our actual own video, so I can just put the web address in here. So let me go find it on YouTube to go to my channel real quickly. The old 66 days of data. What is it? I just popped that bad boy in there. And now we have our video. Here I can just add a little bit of text about what it is. What is the hashtag 66 days of data? And I won't bore you with all of the editing here. One thing that I do think is important though is essentially having some of the frequently asked questions answered on this page. So I really liked one of the templates. I used this one. Or did I? No, I didn't use that one. I used something similar. I used this one. And right here, I can replace these with any pictures that I would like. I can do that very simply by just either using the basic shapes or uploading media. Next, I edited what was underneath here with the question. And you can also change the colors of these by changing the background. So those are the things that I did there to make it look like this below. Just use my theme colors instead of the ones that existed there. So before I move on to the newsletter or some of these other ones, let's fix my logo image up here. So I want to use my actual Kenji logo. And so I can upload media, go from my computer, and I can upload my personal logo here, my full name. Excellent. So we can see it's tiny. I can drag to resize, make it look nice and pretty, maybe drag this down just a little bit. And then as you saw on my main website, I have these social media icons that are linked. I'll show you how to do that right now really quickly. We just go down here. What I did is I copied this social bar and I just dragged this social bar up here. And the cool thing is you can just take this, you can Control C and Control V and just paste it on either side for the formatting like I did. If you want to add some other social networks, so I don't really use Facebook, I don't really use Instagram, we can change the Twitter logo here. So let's just use let's use the color Twitter logo. Let's delete this one. Now let's add in, what's another big one I use? LinkedIn. I'm big on LinkedIn. And then I guess the biggest one probably should be YouTube, huh? And so we can just click here, we add our link. So let's just go to my YouTube. And I can put my YouTube link in here. And we want it to go to a new window. You can put all of your links in there. And then when we click in the preview on YouTube, it'll take me to a new window with my YouTube channel. So I think that's pretty cool. If we want to add some additional bars, for example, your GitHub portfolio or your Medium articles, we can add a new icon. And as you see, GitHub or Medium are not located here. So we can upload media. We can upload it from a computer. And I have Medium. I also have a GitHub there that I like. So I uploaded both of those. And we can now select from these. So let's just add this Medium to the gallery. We can delete that. We can delete that. We can delete that. Let's also add, maybe like Spotify for my podcast. So if you haven't checked out the Ken's Nearest Neighbors podcast, shameless plug to check that out if you want some sweet interviews. And then same way, you just add the link there. So that was a nice little way you can add those icons, how I did up there. That's not everyone's design style of choice. You can put those things in your About section as well if you want to instead. All right, now let's move on to the newsletter. This is one of my favorite features here. This is something that is going to be really different for me. And I'm pretty excited to do this. So we're going to add in another strip. I think we can just use the same one here. And we want to replace this image with something that's maybe a little bit more me. So let's upload some media. Let's choose this papaya. And my newsletter is going to be called Data Dribble. So kind of like dribbling a basketball, kind of like if you squeeze a fruit, some juice will dribble out. You get just a little bit of data in your life every week, and a little bit about some of the things that I'm working on, some of the projects that I'm excited about. So I guess I loaded it in before experimenting, but the cool thing here is we can adjust this photo however we want. So let's actually go back to that image. We can crop and edit. So let's just make it only the papaya. And then I want to put white text over it, so I'm going to make it a lot darker. So I can reduce the exposure. I can kind of make the shadows really strong, have a lot of contrast, and then reduce the brightness. So then it's a nice, dark, rich papaya that we can work over here. So we've changed the background to that. Beautiful. And then now I can put my Data Dribble text in here. So if we want to add text, we just go to text here. We can add maybe the skinny title. That looks fun. Oops, don't want to lose it. We can position that wherever we want. And again, it auto resizes on a phone. I can see what the difference looks like on my phone here. Like that. And I can jump back to desktop if I want. So we're going to change this to white so we can actually read it. And we're going to reposition it so it's in the middle of this. And we're going to call this Introducing Data Dribble. And then if we want to center it, we can just do that. Beautiful. And then the most important thing with the newsletter is actually getting people's emails. So I'm going to show you how to input a form as well. And forms can be useful not just for newsletter, but if you want to give people an easy way to contact you, or to reach out about positions, or to reach out if you want to start doing some mentorship or helping people get jobs, that's a really awesome place to have an intake form. So we can go down and we're going to go to contact forms. So we can have advanced ones where people are sending questions, whatever it is in. For this one, we're just going to have a simple email subscription type of thing set up. So we're going to put in this here. We're going to close this. And instead of join, we're going to have it say subscribe. You can resize that. And if we want to add a text box, we can just put it, choose whatever we want. Let's choose a minimal title and just put it up here. And we'll say, join the newsletter. Perfect. And the cool thing here is this is all set up. So if someone subscribes to their email, it goes into your Wix dashboard, and you can essentially have access to that. They're put into a specific group through this if I want them to be. And I can only send people newsletters that essentially opt in through the subscribe setting. So you can see on my main website how I've added a lot more text about what Data Dribble is. I'll just kind of pull that up here. There's no reason for me to go through all of this, and force you guys to watch me type this all out. But I would really appreciate it if you signed up to the Data Dribble. Hopefully it provides some additional value beyond just my YouTube videos. I'll have information on the books I'm reading. I get a lot of questions about that. Obviously, I really like to read. Some insight into the projects I'm working on. I have a lot of fun collaboration projects going up, and some of the resources I'm using to learn. I'll also have content updates, some behind the scenes, as I've mentioned. I have a lot of free giveaways. My sponsors are really awesome, and they've been just giving me a lot of stuff to give away. So that's another great place to have some exclusive giveaways. And I'll also, if any people reach out to me with job opportunities, I'll be forwarding them along to you in the community. And if there are any group projects or good opportunities to volunteer that come up, I'll have those there as well. So the last thing we want to do is go to the About and Contact page. So, this is a very straightforward contact form. I kind of would change this to About Me. And this is a great place for you to be able to, talk a little bit about yourself. I usually say I'm a data scientist at this. These are the types of projects I'm looking at. You can have a couple more links here. You can also add in a picture. So, I would include a picture of yourself. Maybe let's choose from some of my old YouTube thumbnails or something. Let's do like something kind of fun, kind of funky. That's a good one, right? Perfect. We probably want to crop this one. Awesome. And we can go ahead and add this here. We can resize it a little bit. And when you're talking about yourself, again, you want to say what your status is. Are you a student? What type of things you like to work on? Maybe some of your skills and aptitudes. And then you can have this contact page at the bottom. I will mention it one last time that if you are doing a pure portfolio website, this is only focused on showcasing what you're working on, it might make more sense to do this in a single page. So very, it doesn't take a lot of effort to do this with Wix. You would not have to do the menus. You could just have a single content page, and you'd have your projects that you're working on. You can have a little introduction to you as well, and then you can have a contact form at the bottom, and that person can just scroll all the way down. Again, a lot of my friends have blog websites like this where they post all their content, and they can even monetize these at a certain point in time. My goal is to just kind of spread awareness and have a hub for everyone, but I think hopefully this is a fun way to do it, and hopefully you learned a lot through this process and also learned a lot about how to use Wix. So again, this is what my final website looked like. I should have given you all of the tools to be able to create something like this of your own. I wouldn't necessarily go and copy my structure. It's for a very specific data scientist / YouTuber / content creator use case. But I mean, I wouldn't be offended if you went ahead and did that. So we have all of these different pages. Hopefully all of the links and things work out. But I can't stress this enough. This was a really cool product to work with. And hopefully this gives you just one extra way to interact with me. You've seen me build portfolio websites in the past on a couple different platforms, but they're very limiting compared to what can be done with Wix. I highly recommend this approach if you're building something a bit more robust and you don't want to worry about the programming or the configuration elements. The Wix interface was really intuitive, and I don't have to worry about keeping plugins updated, which plugins to use, etc. I also love the newsletter feature. I'm really happy I can have this additional lever to engage with the community even further. I hope that this video helped you to better understand the importance of a portfolio website and how Wix can help you create one that stands out from the pack. If you're looking to build a portfolio website using Wix, remember to use my link in the description. Now, thank you for watching and good luck on your data science journey.